Hi guys, this is Bezalel of Tech. So right now we'll be creating our first project using HTML and CSS. So I just want us to create a simple sign login form, and after that I'm going to also create some different components so that you guys are going to see how things are being created using HTML and CSS. So right now let me create a folder. Let me create a folder here. So I'll create a new folder. Now login form, login page, enter. So right now I'm in the index.html side. So let me just open this with VS Code. I'm opening this with VS Code. So right now it's opening. So it's opening. I'll open it wide. So right now in this place, I'll come here and I'm going to create index.html. So let me create index.html. So I've created an index here. Created it. Created index.html. So let me create a folder also. So let me create CSS. So I've created a CSS folder. So this is the index.html. This is the CSS folder. So how you can know you've created that? So you come here and see yourself. So you are seeing it. This is the index.html. This is the CSS folder. So you just come back and check. So I'll come here, and inside this CSS, I'm going to create style.css. Let me create style.c. That's been created. So right now I'll come here, and I'm going to press the shift key, this and this, opening right away. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change this title tag here. I'm going to change the title tag. So let me just write login page. So I'll come here. So the first thing first I want to do is to create a section. So let me create a section tag. Create a section tag. And after creating a section tag, let me also create a div. So create a div, and it's in this div that I'm going to create our form and other things. So let me create a div. So let me have h1 login page. So I've created h1 of login page. So right now let me create the form tag. So I'll remove this action. Oh, no need. Let me put the action back and just put hash. So we are not submitting it anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to create a div inside this place. So that div, I will name that div control. I'll name it control. Please, I've practiced all these before teaching you this course, so don't be overwhelmed while I'm doing it. I've practiced all this, so just code along with me. So I'm giving this a label for username. So I'm going to write username. So I've created a label for username. So I'm also going to create an input tag. So this input here is going to be text, and I also have a name. The name, I'm going to write username, and also an ID of username. So the next is going to be the password. So I'm going to create control again. Control. So in this control, I'll have a label for password. Let me write PSW. So I'm going to write password here, password. So I'm also going to have an input. So input here, I will change this from text to password. So I've changed it to password right away. I also have a name of PSW and also an ID of PSW. So I've created that. So the last one I'm going to be creating is the submit button. So, but I'm going to use the input. So I'm also going to create control, div of control, and input type of submit. You notice my Visual Studio Code is sensitive enough that it knows that what I'm actually putting in is for both name and this, but we are removing this. What I'm just going to write is value. So the value that is going to be here is going to be login. So right now, let me open this with live server. Let's open with live server and see. This is what we are seeing. So let's put this here also. Canceling all this. Canceling all this. So this is what we are seeing. So we are going to be styling this to look very beautiful. So we are going to be styling this. Let me give this a class because we are going to style something here. So let me give it a class of form section. So let me also give that div a container, class of container, or what do you think? Okay, form container, anything you like, but it must be meaningful. So I'm giving that a class of form container. So right now I'm going to go into the styling. So if you should remember, we've actually been doing internal CSS. So right away I'm going to be doing external CSS. So let me expand this. I'm also going to be creating a link tag here. I'm going to be creating a link tag. So let me go and create my link here. Link. So in this link I'm going to have css-style.css. So whenever you are creating an external CSS folder, you put the name of the folder you've created, then / then style.css. So that's what you are going to do while creating that. So we are not going to be creating our style sheet in the air tag as we used to open style. So we are going to be writing every of our code inside this particular place. So right now we are going to be writing our code here. So I'm putting it into 2, but that should not be the case. You've seen the way I just drag it and put it there, but that's not what I'm doing here. So I will cancel this. Yep, I will cancel this. I expand this place and come here. So I'll come here. So let me do it like this so that everyone is going to see a better view of what I'm doing. Everyone is going to see a better view of what I'm doing. So at first, the first thing first that I actually do is to put some property to this element. So by using the star and having a padding of 0, right? So I'm going to have a padding of 0, or should I not apply that? What do you think? So padding of 0 and margin of 0. Box sizing of what? Border box. Ctrl S. So right now, the next thing I'm going to deal with is going to be the body tag. Or should I leave the body tag and just go directly to what we want to style? So I will leave the body tag and go directly to our styling component. So let me go to form section. So in this form section, so let me create a height of of 100 vh 100 vh 100 vh. Yes, so created an height of 100 vh, so width of 100 vh also, %. I've created that width. So I'm coming, let me apply something to the body to see if this thing is actually background color red. Oh, it's actually working. So let me remove that. I just wanted to apply that. Oh, I add something to that also. I add something to that. So right now here, I'm going to add a background image. So I've not created my image folder. So let me come here and create image folder. So in that image folder, we are going to have our background, our image. So image, so img, so enter. And I am an img tag. So let me go here and have an image of what? Inventory. So it's just a random project we are doing. Inventory image. So right now, which one do you think I should pick? So let me go back and pick. You can use anyone. You can use anyone. Image. Image. Right now, I'll come and put that image inside this folder. Let me come and put the image inside the folder. Why the image didn't create? Folder didn't create. So we are going to come here. Going to come here and check. We actually created the image. Created the image, but I don't know why it's not showing. So let me delete this image. So we are going to come here and create it ourselves. That's I said, you can also check img. So I'm going to put in that image here. So I'm going to put in the image. Okay. Let's put it. I've put the image already. Coming here. So we're actually working on. So I put it there. So right now I'm going to put background image. So background image. Background image. So the background image is going to have a URL. So I'm going to put ./img/inventory.jpg. So let's see if this will appear on our browser. Come here. Wow, so we are seeing it. So the image is shown. So let me just apply one or two things to that image. So let's have a background size of cover. Background size. Let me close this thing. Background size of cover, and also have a background position of center. Background position center. So right now we are seeing the image. So the next thing I'm also going to be dealing with is the form container. So the next thing, let me add a position here, position element, position, relative. Yes. So right now, let me now go back and style. The next thing we are going to be styling is the form container. because we've created a class. Yeah, so we are going to be styling the form container. So right now I'll give it a top of 50%, and left 50%. No, it won't work that way because I haven't actually stated a position property there. So let me give a position of absolute. Yes. So look at it right away. We will have a position of absolute right away there. So right now, also give this a width of 30 pixel. And I'm also going to give it another property which will also be very useful. Another property which is also going to be very useful. So what I'm going to apply to that is padding. Since I've given it a width of 30 rem, so I'm going to apply padding property, padding of 48 pixel, 48 pixel and 22 pixel. I've applied the padding. We are still going to change the text of those colors, and I'm also going to make this because we are not actually seeing what is there. So I've just practiced this and I want you to feel how to practice things from scratch. So that's why I'm doing this of 10 rem. Form container. So I'm also going to be applying border radius. So let me apply background. I've applied border radius. So which other property should I apply to this? So let me apply linear gradient here. I'm going to apply linear gradient. Let me give it a space so that linear gradient. So in this linear gradients, I'll put in some values, RGBA values, which will be very useful here. So I'll put in some RGBA values. So the values I'm going to be writing are RGBA. I told you guys I'm conversant with these values. I didn't cram it, I'm just conversant with it. I told you do not cram anything. 0 and 0.2. So the next one I'm going to be applying also will be beside. So I'll have RGBA, and I'm also going to be applying the value of 33, 37, 48 and 0.2, 48 and 0.2. So you can see the text a little bit dark. I might adjust it later. Adjust that later. So right now we've applied that and we can see what is going on. So the next thing I'm going to be designing is still the form container. So let's add a background color to this. The background. This. So the background, let me also apply linear gradient. The linear gradient, but I'm using the hexadecimal color here. So the hexadecimal color here I'm going to be using is D3, F9, D8, and the next one I'm also going to be using will be ash D6, D1, and D1. So let's see that. So that's what it appeared at first. That's how it appeared. So right now I'm also going to be applying a transform property here. So let me have transform of translate minus 50% and minus 50%. So we'll apply that. So we'll apply the background to that. I'll also apply to this. So position here is absolute. So top, bottom, and the rest. So the next thing I'm also going to be applying to this is box shadow. This border radius is too much. So let me just write 10 pixel. That's not showing, so let me change it to rem. Border radius of 1 rem. So let me change all this to rem. I feel like using rem in this project. So rem. Yeah, rem is better. So 48 rem, 4.8 rem. And 2.2 rem. Yeah, this is okay, right? This is okay. So this is practically okay. So this is what we actually want. Width of 30 rem, padding of 4.8 rem. So let me apply box shadow here. I'm applying box shadow of 1 rem, 6 rem, and let me apply a dark color to that side. So it has the box shadow. You are seeing the shadow right away at the end. So we've applied the box shadow. So the next thing I want to style, let me go back to our index.html. So the next thing we will be styling is H1, the H1, and our form. We'll be styling the H1 and our form. So let's dive in immediately and see what we are going to apply to the H1, because the H1 is really essential for us to style. So let me come here. So I'm going to apply that because only one H1 will have one H1. So that H1, let's have a text transform of capitalize. Text transform of capitalize. So the next one I'm also going to be having is font size of 1.8 rem. So apply the font size of 1.8 rem. So let me put it to the center. Text align center. So we are creating this to look beautiful. And I might also reduce the width of this because it's somehow looking bigger. Depends on our design. So we are still creating it and we are also seeing. So let me apply a margin to the bottom. Margin bottom of 4 rem. That's pretty much. Let me apply 3.5 rem. As much. 2 rem. That's okay. That's pretty okay. So the next thing I'm going to be applying is color. So color I'm going to be using an hexadecimal value here. So the hexadecimal value here I'm going to be applying is hash to F9. So hash to F9 P44. Let's see. Alright, no. Let me go and look for hexadecimal value of orange. It seems that will be the better something. So let me come back here and look for hexadecimal value. Hexadecimal value color picker. I'm coming here. So let me pick orange here. No, this is not orange. Look for the orange color. So without GBA entirely. So let me go back down, pick the hexadecimal color. Now come here. Let me pick it. Now come here. So let me do this. This should make sense. Start the login. Yes, this is it. This hexadecimal value is okay. So right now I'm going to come here and I'm going to design the label. I'm going to have color of E. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So font size of 1.5 rem. Font size of 1.5 rem. That's okay. 1.8, 1.5. That's okay. So the next thing I'm going to be designing is the control.input. Now remember I created a particular class of control. So right now I'm going to be styling it, make it look fine. So here, let me have it, give it a width of 100%. So it will take that particular width of this container that we created, 100%. Wow. So display block. So that will display a block. So right now, also change the padding of 1 rem. So I've applied a padding to it. So border none. Let me apply border of none. Border none. So which other thing should I apply? Outline. So outline. Also none. So I also apply the margin of 1 margin 1 rem. So, oh, I didn't really apply that well. So let me write margin. Why is it showing like this? I'm going to be applying the margin. I've applied that margin. We are seeing it. I've applied the margin. So let me also apply color. So color hashed. Okay. So the next one I'm going to style is the control input. I'm going to be styling this control input. Let me try and reduce something here. This width of this. Let me give it 20 rem. 125 rem is okay. Yeah, it's pretty okay. So right now I'm going to be styling the control input. Control, then input type of submit. So I'll use this, then right type. this type, I'm going to be having value of submit in it. So submit. So that's how it is. I'll create this. So here I'm going to be giving it a background color. That particular color will give that hash color. So this should make sense. So as I've applied that color, let me change the text in it to white color. So hash FFF as white. Making sense. So we are designing this. So you are seeing this from scratch. We started this from scratch, and you also can practice this. So let me apply border radius. So border radius of 2 rem. Wow, so this thing is getting beautiful. So let me do text transform property of uppercase. So the next I'm going to apply is, so I press Ctrl S. The next thing I'm going to apply to this is the font size. So to make it bigger, because so that people can see it, let me apply 1.2 rem. So 1.2 rem is being applied. So we are styling this and it's looking very beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to apply to this is an opacity. So opacity of opacity I'm going to be adding should be 0.8. Adding opacity. You've seen it's looking somehow dim. So right now we'll style that. So the next thing you are going to also be adding is a control property, is to style the control submit button when we hover on it. So when we come and hover on this, so it will show a certain color. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to apply control input. I don't want to copy it because copying of code is not good. I just want to just be from scratch. We can copy this. Next thing we are just going to add is a pseudo class element. We can copy this. And next thing I'm going to add pseudo class element of override here. But that's not what I want to do. So I just want to put it from scratch. So right now I'm going to have type of what? Submit. I'm going to write submit here. Submit. So in this submit, so the pseudo class property I'm introducing here is the hover state when we are hovering on it. So when we are hovering on it, what do we want it to happen here? So we want the opacity to be 1. Opacity 1. When we are hovering on it. So you are seeing it. So as you remove that opacity, as you see me put my hand here, it remove that opacity that we applied when it's on submit. So it will remove it and make it more bright. So the opacity level is on 1 at that state. The opacity level is on 1 at that state. So the next thing I'm going to be designing right now is the link. So I'm going to be designing the link. So right now that's the last thing for me to design. I'll be designing the link. So just gonna put, we have a link. Let me go and check. Not linked it. Let me just remove this login. So let me go back to our browser and expand this. Wow, I actually created this. This is look. Let me see how it looks like. Right? So when you want to check a property or something or more, that to look like. This has added responsiveness. When we are creating larger project, I will teach adding that looks. Thank you for listening and watching. So we're going to create more projects and you will learn more about creating and designing. Also learn more about HTML and CSS. The next thing we are going to be seeing now is creation of components. I just created this project because of all that we've learned in HTML and CSS, combining them together. So if you can see in this project, we use the form tag, we use the div tag, we use the section tag, and we also apply new things that you've not been learned, like properties in the CSS like opacity that you've not seen before, properties like text transform, properties like outline. So you've seen it, you are seeing them, properties like box shadow, properties like transform, properties like top, left, and position. So I decided to apply that so that you guys are going to see how some things are being done, and I believe you guys understood this. So thank you. See you in the next class.